The Leroy Truth Investigations Tyranny Response Team. Scalzo photo.
You need to sit down. We told you once, we're not going to tell you again. You need to sit down.
Aria of AV Design.
Whole thing started, was captured on another camera recording device.
Right. That's a very good point.
There's a reason why this shouldn't be allowed anymore. So I think it just needs to end at them and stop. And you know, like I'm literally watching you stream, and then all of a sudden you get arrested.
Garden State Accountability with Vinny.
I'm Garden State Accountability, and I'm here representing the people of New Jersey.
If I went up there, what would happen? I wouldn't allow you to. No.
It has to be. You're in a security building right now. You cannot film this. Take it off, please. You're not filming.
You're gonna break this
right now.
The state's attorney was defending Figgy.
This is Garden State Accountability with Vinny. He was just in the courtroom where I was a few minutes ago. He stepped up. He stepped up. The Exposure Report with David Snow.
David Snow of the Exposure Report, formerly Folklore Press.
At the end of the day, this is simple. You can't call yourself a leader if you protect predators more than survivors. Suspend Edwin Marinas tonight, launch a full investigation, and start putting children before politics.
You're not in charge of it. Well, you're not in charge of me because I'm not breaking the law. Listen, don't yell at me. One.
I am Leroy Truth of Leroy Truth Investigation.
You're just in my tripod. You're just in my tripod. You are being incredibly rude and condescending to everyone here. Stop interrupting me. Does the First Amendment apply here or not, Senator Stack?
You're done. You're done. Stand up. Stand up. You're done.
What's going on? You're disrupting the meeting. I'm telling you right now.
This is my 5 minutes. And this is the Leroy Truth Investigations Tyranny Response Team. Welcome, everyone, one and all. I am Leroy Truth of Leroy Truth Investigations with an explosive, incredibly important live. Please smash that like button as you're coming in here. Smash it, doubles, triple smash it. Please share this video everywhere on all of your social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, whatever you've got. Because I am here today, along with Garden State Accountability, who I'm going to bring up in a minute, and also Michael Torres, Union City 2006 graduate of Union City Schools, alleged victim of Edwin Marinas, assistant principal and teacher. The two focuses that we have today, number one, are to protect children in Union City, New Jersey, from S predators, including alleged king and emperor S predator Edwin Marinas, Union City, New Jersey teacher, assistant principal, and former football coach, who is being protected by Mayor of Union City, New Jersey, who's also simultaneously a New Jersey state senator, who is also simultaneously the head of the Judiciary Committee. Of course, he has to be above reproach to be the head of that Judiciary Committee, right? He's got thousands and thousands and thousands of allegations of corruption against him, including the worst of all, protecting S predators. And to be clear, why I speak in code is for this platform. So you will hear me say things in code. I think you will understand what I mean, but it has to be said in code. So first, I want to bring up Garden State Accountability now, and this is Vinny. Please subscribe to him. He's my producer here.
What's going on, guys?
Hey, so Vinny, welcome. And what words of hello would you like to share with everybody?
Hello. That's my hello.
And thank you for, I realized my mic wasn't on me. Here, is that better sound now?
Better, way better.
Yeah, good. All right, that's why you're a producer. And by the way, we have a brand new background, and it was created with AI. We just noticed right before the show, AI spelled headquarters wrong. So we're going to get that fixed. So now I also want to bring up to our video room here, Michael Torres. And he is an incredibly brave man, 2006 graduate of Union City, New Jersey Schools, who also, many people don't know, he is a hero. While he was working in his regular job a few years ago, he saved the life of a little girl when a car came allegations he has against Union City Assistant Principal Edwin Marinas, protected by corrupt Mayor Senator Brian Stack, but he's a hero as well. And can you share what happened briefly, Mike, and as you were working your day job?
Oh, with when I worked for the beer.
Yeah.
I was doing my route. I had 28 stops, 26 stops around there, and it was just a normal day, normal thing, doing my deliveries, collecting the cash and the money from the stores and stuff. And there was a child and a mother across the street, and I wanted to intervene to be a good person, you know, good-hearted person.
I think Leroy, let's see, Leroy just left. He'll be back in. Let's give it a second, guys. All right, Leroy's having some internet issues, so he'll be back in a second. He'll be back. Give us a second, guys.
Hey, here we go. Okay.
There we go.
Boot it up somehow. All right. So continue where you left off, Mike.
Oh, like I said, I was doing the normal delivery like I always did. And that day I felt something bad was gonna happen, but didn't think of it. And there was a mother, her son, around towards my ending of my route, a mother and her son. It was actually a boy. Everybody thinks it's a girl, but they were across the street, and I went to go intervene to help them. I shouted, don't cross," and things happen.
Right. And so what happens, if you can elaborate on that, and the exposure report, David, thank you. Exposure report couldn't be here. He's on the road right now. And I want everyone to know, again, what a hero Mike Torres is, and a very credible person. And this is something that in his regular job, and he's a truck driver, and he happened to be at the right place in the right time to save, I think, a young child's life. So elaborate again, just briefly, Mike. So what happened? You were at this particular location, and what happened with the particular car?
Well, I was in a location in the 5 boroughs. I don't want to mention to say where I was at.
Yeah.
And I came to a stop, went around the block with the trailer, 48-foot trailer, and big trailer too. And New York is really tight, and I just moved my truck to where the scene of the accident happened, and I was standing there, and I was observing what was going on, people and everything. And when I put the keg on my hand truck, I heard some loud screams, voices of officers say, stop, do not move the car. Sure enough, the gentleman ran me over, broke my leg in 4 places. I have a titanium rod and 4 screws.
And what did you do? There was a carriage or something there, or?
There was a stroller. I went to go intervene and push the child for safety. Child made it alive. Child was, unfortunately, the vehicle did all struck us because it was so fast. The vehicle hit me the worst. I took the most hit, and I end up on the floor on the ground with a broken leg, and the child was okay.
And you can find this online, everyone. It's in a number of newspaper articles in like CBS or ABC or something. And bottom line is, and Mike is being very humble, but he pushed the stroller that would have been run over by this car and Mike was severely injured, but he saved this child's life. That's a huge, huge thing. So I'm proud of you. And now we're going to accomplish 2 things today, ladies and gentlemen, and we're just going to go 1 hour from 9 p.m. Eastern time to 10 p.m. We're going to keep this really clear and concise. Now, part 1 is to expose the alleged ex-predator Edwin Marinas, who is an assistant principal still teaching right now, about 6 weeks after Jonathan Almeida, a 2003 graduate, came forward with allegations that Edwin Marinas allegedly would expose himself to him when he was on the football team and to all the other football players. And even though it's been 6 weeks since myself and the exposure report published, first I published a phone interview with Jonathan Almeida, and then the exposure report and myself, we interviewed Jonathan Almeida via video. And why did we do an additional video one? Because once the phone interview came out, Stack allegedly was telling everyone, Jonathan isn't even a real person. He's AI. Leroy made that up with AI. That's crazy. It wasn't AI. It was real. So we had Jonathan Almeida and asked him to come on video, and he did. It's been at least 6 weeks, and then Michael Torres comes forward with the same allegations that he was exposed to an unclothed teacher in Union City, who then asked, do you like what you see? Allegedly to Michael here. It's been 6 weeks, and Edwin Martinez, number one, not suspended. Again, these are only allegations. Every man and woman is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, but he is not suspended yet. And the Hudson County, New Jersey prosecutor's office under Wayne Mello, another puppet of Mayor and Senator Brian Stack, has refused to open up an investigation because Edwin Martinez isn't only alleged to have exposed himself to possibly hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of little ones, I'm talking in this code, this platform, of little ones over years, possibly decades. He also allegedly has had engaged in S with many, many students. And everywhere I go, I'm stopped. And people say, hey, I've seen that information about Martinez. I went to school there. He was my principal. He was my teacher. He was my football coach. And then they share what they claim happened to them. It is disgusting. It is criminal. And how is he not arrested yet? How is he not even investigated yet? And how is he still going to school every day? The only place in America, because of Mayor and Senator Brian Stack, where one single allegation, ladies and gentlemen, and a teacher will be suspended. Guilty or not? Yeah, no, I'm not saying Edwin Martinez is guilty or innocent. That's not my place. I don't make allegations. I report allegations that are brought to me. It is up to a jury of his peers to determine guilt or innocence. However, I have many, 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 many people that have come forward, and all you need is one person to come forward, and that teacher gets suspended and investigated. We have had dozens and dozens and dozens of people come forward to me with allegations against Edwin Martinez. He still goes to work every day, happy and free as a clam, and gets the access to children because Union City schools are the #1 sanctuary for predators in the entire United States of America. So if S predators want to make sure they can get away with hurting the little ones and assaulting the little ones, they go to Union City schools because they know Brian Stack, corrupt mayor, senator, will protect them. That's part one. Part two, hugely explosive, is Mayor and Senator Brian Stack has been engaged in pay to play with people in Union City and building inspectors and not building inspectors, building developers and real estate people and landlords for decades. And I found court documents the other day that I checked just about every day. I check NJ Courts, I think it's njcourts.gov, to see what new lawsuits may have been brought against Brian Stack. And you're going to see, ladies and gentlemen, a play-by-play of how a specific police officer named Juan Estrella, Union City police officer, was systematically retaliated against because he wouldn't do pay-to-play with Brian Stack. I got the court documents. I found them online like a couple days ago. I'm going to read them to you. You're going to hear from retired Union City police officers, maybe some present as well, in these court documents under oath about how they allege Mayor Brian Stack engaged in regular pay-to-play. And when you hear the retaliation that went on against Juan Estrella, who's a veteran police officer from Union City, you will be blown away. And when you hear how other officers got promoted who engaged in egregious actions over and above Juan Estrella because he wouldn't do pay to play, and these others are criminals. There's one person who was found liable for the unaliving of a man. And even though the names are redacted, there are no names, I know who they are, most of them, because I've been given this information way before I read these court documents. So based upon corroboration of various sources and online sources. And you'll see one of those police officers who is in this is Lieutenant Glenn Gaston, we'll say most likely, because $2.5 million was paid out by Union City because Glenn Gaston, who led this, didn't give a man who was having a severe critical asthma attack his inhaler. And then Lieutenant Glenn Gaston allegedly lied on the police report and said he gave the inhaler. What happened to the man? He died a slow, painful, excruciating DEATH, while witnesses said that they alleged Glenn Gaston and the other 3 officers there seemed to enjoy and laugh as this person was suffocating to death. When Lieutenant Glenn Gaston had the inhaler in his hand. So he's, and who's Lieutenant Glenn Gaston? Oh yes, he's the one who did the cop flop and who had me arrested and falsely charged with felony aggravated assault against him, which didn't happen, of course. You've all seen the video. If you haven't, it's on Long Island Audit's channel. It is on Accountability for All's channel. And it is crazy. It was a whole setup. And he's on the Brady list, Giglio list. So let's get started. Number one, and just for a few minutes, let's have Mike come on. And Mike, so you bravely came forward and you came on our live here and gave extremely emotional testimony of your allegations against Union City Principal Edwin Marinez, who no investigation is happening. Oh, by the way, everyone, you know that shortly after I posted that phone interview, within a short time, one of his victims actually, alleged victims, who he then married when she turned 18, admitted in a Facebook comment. She said, why are you lying? He's never, done anything like exposing himself to little ones, etc. And he waited until he was 18 to marry me, she said. I got it, it's documented. So she admitted there was a relationship before he married her while she was a student. And there is no statute of limitations on that. She admitted it. Well, then shortly after that, I got a DEA ... TH threat. And someone said, Leroy Truth, you need to DI ... And they said, you're going to die a slow, painful ... and hung up the phone. A number of sources after I posted that video to attempt to identify the caller, they allege it's Edwin Marinez's son, Esteban. I got a recording of it. I gave it to the Hudson County Prosecutor's Office, ladies and gentlemen, and did they do an investigation and arrest Esteban Marinez, if in fact it was him? I'm not saying it's him, no statements of fact, allegations. The numerous people who know him said, oh, that's his voice, they claim. No, Hudson County Prosecutor's Office refused to investigate a credible D threat against me. Thanks to corrupt Mayor Senator Brian Stack. But here's what they didn't figure. They didn't figure on my relentlessness, my tenacity. Garden State Accountability's relentlessness and tenacity. Scalzo Photos. David Snow with the Accountability Report, and Michael Torres, courageous 2003 graduate. We're not stopping until Edwin Marinez is investigated and arrested, and children are protected. So, Mike, can you share briefly with everyone what happened after you came on our program here? And you went to the Hudson County Prosecutor's Office, which is where you go, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. You don't go to the local police in New Jersey here, in Hudson County. You go directly to the Hudson County Prosecutor's Office and talk with someone from the Special Victims Unit. And so you went there. And by the way, Jonathan Almeida already went there before you, Michael, so you weren't the first. They already knew Jonathan Almeida's story because he went there. Because people are saying, well, why don't they go to the so-called authorities? They did. They did. And what were you told by Special Victims Unit in Hudson County, New Jersey Prosecutor's Office, Michael?
So for me, I went to the Special Victims Unity Caucus, where they had they had me down there, and they told me that they didn't have statutes of limitations on the situation, that there was, because it was too overdue. It was 20 years of coming out.
All right. So they claim that there's nothing they could do because in him showing the little ones, yourself and many others, his privates, there's a statute of limitations in New Jersey on that, they claim. Right? So they said there's nothing they could do?
Yeah, they said there was nothing they could do.
Right. And here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, because Edwin Marinas is not just accused of showing his privates to the little ones, he's also accused of engaging in S with many of the little ones. There's fire. And that certainly is enough to start an investigation. But by the way, did the Hudson County Prosecutor's Office ever come? We've seen your Facebook posts. Everyone's telling us we should investigate Marinas. Would you be willing to come meet with us and give us the information you have? They never did that. They never did that.
No.
And everyone has a duty to report in most states, but the state of New Jersey, if any teacher, or law enforcement person, or mayor, or Board of Education member,
I think we lost Leroy again. Let's see if he comes back. He's definitely dealing with some internet troubles here. Let's see.
Why I'm on my regular Wi-Fi like I always am. Maybe, I don't know. There's not that much wind right now. But thanks for your patience, everybody. So none of them have reported this that I'm aware of. They have a duty to report. One single allegation should have gotten Edwin suspended, Marina suspended, and it hasn't. And investigated, and it hasn't. So bring Michael up here one more time. And so tomorrow, Michael Torres and I are going personally to the Hudson County Prosecutor's Office in New Jersey. And I will be sharing more information with them. All sources, of course, will be confidential. So anyone who has additional information between now and tomorrow at 1 p.m., please contact me. If you have any information about S misconduct of Edwin Marinas or any other teacher. I got a total of at least 12 teachers right now. Edwin Marinas plus 11, allegedly, who were engaging in S with students. And so Michael and myself, we're going to go there tomorrow and at a particular time and meet with the captain of the Special Victims Unit and peacefully demand they open up an investigation into Edwin Marinas and to Esteban Marinas, who did that D threat against me. Now, how is it, by the way, how's the internet now? Is it clear? I just got a text from someone.
It's looking good right now.
Okay. All right.
All right.
And for Juan, thank you for the message there, Juan. And so any other words before we go, Mike?
Like I said, they with the Special Victims Unit, you know, they closed it. They said that they closed it, like basically they couldn't do nothing. But if anything on Marinas, like Marinas did what he did. I'm not sitting here lying to you. I'm not lying to nobody in this program. Marinas did what he did to me.
And what are you alleging that he did to you?
He exposed himself. He exposed his generals to me. He was saying down because it was a meeting between me and him, and there was other coaches there. So it wasn't like he wasn't naked. He was hit from the bottom down. He was naked. I seen his generals. And I've heard him talk recklessly about children, women. I know people that like have said, you know, Marinas, oh, you know, he shows his genitals. He didn't care if nobody showed, like he didn't care. It was like a common thing to him. talking about the cheerleaders, the girls, the drillettes, the you know, because girls back then, they had bodies in the high school. These girls had figures of a 21-year-old, and he would look at them. He would look at, you know what I mean? He would look at, like, you know, and do the things he did, and he still hasn't got reprimand for nothing.
No, he's not arrested yet. And I was at a restaurant the other day, Mike. I was telling you that. I'm going to leave the restaurant unnamed. And as soon as I came in, because everywhere I go in Hudson County, people recognize me. And they're 99% supportive. And once in a while, there's a Brian Stack troll, starts screaming, yelling. But most are very supportive. And as soon as they saw me, they said, "Oh, Edwin Marinez. Yeah, he was teaching when I was a student," this person said. And he gave me stories and said that, according to him, these are all allegations. I am making no statement of facts whatsoever in this entire broadcast. I'm just reporting allegations. This graduate of Union City Schools, who will remain unnamed, they said that he would make comments about girls as young as 5th grade. Comments. And that there was a student who was overheard as talking to Marinez, allegedly saying that, "No, if you don't watch out, I'll tell my mom what you did to me." Someone just told me this. And I've got much more. There's so many more people who are coming forward to me. So if you are an alleged victim of Edmund Marinez, you will be 100% confidential. Come forward to me. We need to get this guy exposed completely, suspended, and arrested.
Leroy, can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I say something to the people out there that are dealing with the Marinez?
Absolutely.
Listen, it took me 20 years to tell my mother, after numerous of losing family, father, sister, grandmother in my life. Don't be like me, people. Don't be like me that hold it back. Tell your parents, go to your parents and tell them about Marinez. You're not gonna get hurt. Okay? If the system's that rigged and they hurt you, you have a lawsuit in your hands and you have the right to tell somebody. Please speak out. Don't be like me, people. Please do me a favor and speak out and say what you have to say about Marinez. He shouldn't be teaching in schools, and especially high school. I don't have no love for him. I have no love for the man. I think what he did to me as a student, as a football player, you know what? I feel very disgusted. And I'm gonna tell you this, kids. If you're out there, whoever went through this with Marinez, please speak out. This man needs to go into custody because I know what he did to me. And yeah, it's accusations, it's all that, but I seen his genitals. I know what they look like. And I have dreams every day. So please call Leroy, call somebody, please speak the truth and tell the truth to Leroy so we could get this situation handled. Thank you.
Amen, brother. We need to protect children. Children can be in danger right now. And I have false felony charges against me now because I've been exposing Edwin Marinez and the allegations. And Mayor and Senator Brian Stack has been trying to stop me at all costs. A grand jury is supposed to be convening, could be this week, could be next week, this month sometime, to determine if I get indicted on these false felony charges of aggravated assault against a police officer, which didn't happen. It's a complete lie and fabrication. And the process of the punishment, I got to spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to fight these unlawful charges. It carries a prison sentence up to 5 years if convicted. I appreciate everyone who's donated to my GoFundMe. However, Senator and Mayor Brian Stack allegedly got my GoFundMe deleted. Gone. Can't do another GoFundMe. So we now have a give, send, go. I mean, is this insane? And what am I doing trying to protect children and women in Union City schools? And before we go, Mike, and then we're going to go to part 2, everybody, on the play-to-play scheme of Mayor Brian Stack, allegedly, the alleged play-to-play scheme, is Hudson County, courtesy of corrupt Senator and Mayor Brian Stack, the #1 protector of S predators in the entire state of New Jersey, He got a new sheriff elected. There was someone named Sheriff Frank Scolari. He was awesome. He's been sheriff for a long time. And out of all the politicians in Hudson County, New Jersey, over the last 2-year investigation, not a single person has ever given me one single allegation of misconduct or criminal actions. That's unprecedented. And I consider Sheriff Frank Scolari a good friend of mine now as I've gotten to know him. And he is not the sheriff anymore because Mayor Stack, he wanted someone who was going to play for him because Scolari wouldn't. Frank Scolari. He got a guy named Jimmy Davis, just elected. He just became sheriff 4 days ago. When you hear this, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to blow your mind. Mayor Senator Stack endorsed him, got him elected. And what is he accused of? Being a major S predator and S harasser of women. You can look online. Mayor of Bayonne, New Jersey, Jimmy Davis, Sexting, $180,000, $200,000 payout. He was allegedly ing an employee, tried to get her to meet him in an Atlantic City hotel room. He just became sheriff. Another lawsuit, $500,000, was just granted by a jury after a 6-week trial. $500,000 because a female worker in Bayonne, New Jersey, where Jimmy Davis was mayor up until the last 4 days, where he's now sheriff, said it was an S-charged environment and a hostile work environment. And a jury, after 6 weeks of deliberations and jury and so forth, $500,000 against the city of Bayonne, New Jersey, where Mayor Jimmy Davis is the mayor. And guess what? The judge dismissed the settlement number. Gone. Dismissed it. You can't do that. Why? She's allegedly connected and run by Mayor Senator Brian Stack. 6 weeks of the jury's life getting paid, of course, almost nothing. They were very, very good jury, I heard. Very deliberate. They said $500,000 the city of Bayonne must pay to this worker, former worker. And the judge said, nope, bye-bye, no money for you. And we're investigating that judge right now as well. Sick stuff. Oh, then there's one more thing. There's someone named Lieutenant Matt Fedra, who's a Hudson County Sheriff's officer. He was found through an internal investigation to have sent pictures of his privates to a female police officer. They would sustain the internal investigation. Sheriff Frank Scolari, who's now not sheriff, wanted him fired. They kept delaying it, wouldn't let him fire him, wouldn't let him fire him. He's not fired. Mayor Jimmy Davis and him are really good friends. Both come from Bayonne, New Jersey. They're leaving a known S predator who sent pictures of his privates to a female police officer. He wasn't arrested. There's no charges. Why? Because Hudson County Prosecutor's Office, thanks to Mayor Senator Brian Stack, won't investigate. I'm committed to helping all of those women. The female sheriff's officers are terrified now. Jimmy Davis is the sheriff. Lieutenant Matt Fedro is still a lieutenant and completely protected. They can assault anyone they want. Up until now, they've been getting away with it. And I'm going to make sure that stops. So with that, we're going to go to part 2 now. And Mike, any last words before we move on?
Like I said, I want people to just come forward about Marinas. We gotta get him out. And you know what, Brian, I hope you've seen this because seriously, you really did you really didn't do nothing well for the city of New York City. From in my point of view, in my eyes, you still cover up people like Marinas to do what they're doing. And you know, like I said, I cried in the live, and I still am upset about it because you know why? As a father, as a person, as a human being, I don't think any kid should go through that. You know, Marinas needs to be accountable. Like every person that wears a badge, every person that wears a suit, that goes to the schools and any job, you should have accountability for what you do. It doesn't matter who you are. You're not God. You got to go to prison. And I don't care allegedly or unallegedly or information. I'm telling the truth. So the truth is, Marinez did show me his genitals. Marinez is still doing what he's doing, and he's still teaching. He shouldn't be teaching, and that's it.
That's insane. And lastly, since I heard Ed Marinez watches these as well, what message would you like to give directly to Edmund Marinez, Mike?
You don't want me to, if you wanted me to word it,
always peaceful, of course.
Of course. You know, I got to do the peaceful thing. Marinez, you know what you do. Knock it off. Do the right thing by turning yourself in and saying the truth.
Simple. Right. Turn yourself in and simply tell the truth, Edwin Marinez. And bring your son Esteban there with you, who allegedly made that D threat against me. So, all right. God bless you, Mike. And thank you for sharing. I appreciate your courage and really respect you. So God bless you. And I'll see you tomorrow as we go to the Hudson County Prosecutor's Office to peacefully demand they investigate Marinez starting tomorrow.
Definitely. We'll be there with you, and hope to see you soon tomorrow, right? I'm going to be out.
All right. God bless you. All right.
God bless you guys. Later.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now part two. Well, first, I want to thank Black North X. All finished with your Gov flush. Thank you for the super chat there. Thank you so much. And anyone wants a super chat or PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, go toward my legal defense expenses, all the expenses associated with that. Also, brand new member, consider becoming a member as well. Swede Observer became a YouTube member. God bless you. And so let's go on now to part two, which is the corrupt mayor, Senator Brian Stack, alleged pay-to-play scheme. We're going to read from court documents that I just found. And before I share that, I've said that there are a number of judges and prosecutors who are people who allegedly Stack controls. However, there are numerous judges and prosecutors in New Jersey that are their own people, and they adjudicate by the law and not by Stack's intimidation. And I got a gift on Christmas Eve, December 24th. See, I have a state lawsuit and a federal lawsuit that I did against Stack and others. I was unlawfully arrested last July in the middle of speaking during my public comment time on July 16th, 2024. And because I said words Stack didn't like, where I called him corrupt, and I said his mother would not be proud of his corruption, he had me arrested unlawfully. Charged with 2 or 3 criminal charges. Everything was dismissed. Had a lawsuit. Got dismissed. It's a clear lawsuit. My rights were violated, period. I was handcuffed, went to jail in Union City. Got dismissed. Well, I did pro se attempt to get it reinstated, and myself and Scalzo Photo went and spoke before the judge about maybe, 4 weeks ago, maybe three weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. And I have never seen a judge more present and more caring about making sure the law is followed than this judge. Her name is Judge Kalima Ahmad. And she's a Hudson County Superior Court judge in the Civil Division. She treated me with such respect and was very patient, as I'm not a lawyer, of course, and I don't know, all the machinations and the processes and the nomenclature that is spoken. And I made that clear. I mean, she knew that most likely up front. So I'm not a lawyer, but I'll do my best to share why my case should be reinstated. And I just got to underline, I've never been treated with more respect from a judge. She is her own woman, and her family could be proud of her. And Mayor Stack has hired at least 11 attorneys against me as a pro se plaintiff. 11. And there were 2 there. And they were trying to get this lawsuit dismissed permanently. And the judge said she would review everything. And on December 24th, I checked NJ.com, it was NJcourts.com or .gov, and she reinstated my lawsuit. That was a beautiful gift from a righteous judge who followed the law and followed the merits of the case and did not follow any intimidation or attempt at tampering with her decision. And God bless her. And she, in fact, is an honorable judge. She did the right thing. So stay tuned, because I will personally be deposing Mayor Brian Stack. And it has all the depositions, I think, have to be done by the end of February. However, I'm going to read from this court document now to you. It's going to blow your mind. And there are two attorneys who are extremely excellent attorneys, and they are not afraid of Mayor and Senator Stack. And when I read through this document, which I'm going to read to you, I was blown away. And they've deposed numerous police officers, some retired, some maybe presently working, and they're phenomenal. So first, as soon as I saw this court document, or a series of court documents, there's a lot, I wanted to call them. So I reached out to them and asked them for additional comment for my reporting. And they said they can't comment anything further because this is, literally it's in court right now. And they just asked me to just refer back any questions I have, just to look through the legal documents, the court documents. And then I asked them, would they consider representing me for all these lawsuits? And as I said to everyone, I've never came into this looking for lawsuits, not a million years. But Stack keeps violating my rights with him and a number of Union City police officers. And so then, there are lawsuits as a result of that. So I asked these two attorneys if they would consider being my attorneys for the lawsuits. And so they said they would consider it, and we're going to set up a meeting, and hopefully this week, and then we'll talk and see if they can represent me. And it was certainly always better to be represented by excellent attorneys than being pro se. So I will let you know on that. But let's get to this now, Vinny. Can you put this full screen? And welcome, everyone. You're going to hear now from court documents of the allegations of pay to play in black and white and a little bit of yellow here against corrupt Mayor Brian Stack of Union City, New Jersey. And you're going to see, how does a cop get retaliated when they do the right thing? You're going to read, or I'm going to read it to you. It's going to blow your mind. Because this police officer, his name is Juan Estrella, that he wouldn't do pay to play. He only donated, apparently, according to the court documents, one single time to Mayor Stack. He was severely retaliated against, allegedly on the orders of Stack and through the police chief at the time, Nichelle Luster, I think it's Luster or Lester. And you're going to see the retaliation he had to go through. And he was denied promotions. And understand, everything I'm reading came from depositions and the court documents, and the people who were deposed were all under oath. So let's get this started here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be mind-blowing. Does Mayor and Senator Brian Stack need to be indicted and arrested by the FBI? How do they say down in the South? Hell yeah. All right, so, and I want to thank Vinny so much. He's an exceptional producer, a great friend. Thank you so much. You do an awesome job here. Now, retaliation, violation, and New Jersey law against discrimination. So retaliation based on political affiliation and deprivation of First Amendment rights in violation of 42 U.S.C. 1983, et cetera, based on political affiliation. Okay, let's scroll down that. And my 42 U.S.C. 1983 is constantly violated. That's where some of my lawsuits stem from. There's plus many other parts. All right, so go to the parties part there. Okay, so the plaintiff, this is Juan Estrella, police officer of Union City. And I want to underline this too. And some don't understand like how I could say this. Well, I say this because it's true. Most Union City police officers have been exceptional in regards to my experience with them over the last over 2 years now, since I started my investigation. Proof's in the pudding. They were told numerous times to remove me from buildings, to arrest me, and they didn't. I think at least 13 times, 12 or 13 times. That's not typical. When they were ordered to unlawfully remove me from public buildings while I'm speaking, or to unlawfully arrest me while I was speaking, they said no. Unfortunately, a number of them said yes, including Omar Hernandez, captain, and Fernando Muro, officer, and Lieutenant Glenn Gaston. They did stack spitting, but 99% of them wouldn't. So I want to underline this, because I know a number of them watch this. Most of them have protected my rights. And how do we inspire more police officers to do so? You acknowledge them when they do that. I would have been arrested another 13 times probably, if not for them doing the right thing. And so they do exist, and I know personally. So I wanted to underline that. So let's continue, Vinny. All right, so plaintiff, his name is Juan Estrella, Officer Estrella. And I don't know why they put skin color and so forth in here, but he's a national origin from Dominican Republic who currently resides in the borough of Hawthorne County of Passaic State of New Jersey. And so he's the plaintiff. Now skip ahead to defendant, city, scroll down a little, Vinny. City of, let's see, I think scroll up a little bit. Did we miss anything? Yeah, you scrolled too far down. Number 3, defendant, City of Union City is a municipality within the county of Hudson. Defendant, Nichelle Luster, and who was the chief of police of the City of Union City Police Department at the time of the incident. And defendant, Brian P. Stack, who is named as a defendant individually and, keep going, scroll down, and as the mayor of the City of Union City with business address at 3715 Palisade Avenue. Again, that's simply City Hall. And so the public, that's City Hall, no doctrines going on. And he's being personally and sued as the mayor, both, which is important. Now, here's the facts according to the court document. So I'm not saying any of these are facts personally. I'm saying what the court document reads. Plaintiff, an officer with national origins from the Dominican Republic, has been employed by the City of Union City over 16 years. Prior to working for the defendants, Officer Estrella worked for the Hudson County Corrections for 6. Officer Estrella has over 22 years of civil service of Hudson County and the City of Union City combined. And he worked in Hudson County Corrections. I guess, what's it, Hudson County Corrections, Vinny? I was there. I was in Hudson County Jail. And I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy for the unlawful charges, felony charges that Stack allegedly had done against me, to stop me from exposing Edwin Marinas, or to try to stop me, but it won't. Number 8, defendant Brian Stack is the mayor of the City of Union City and a New Jersey state senator. At all relevant times, defendant Stack exercised authority over the Union City Police Department, including serving as director of public safety and acting as a final policymaker with respect to promotions, discipline, and employment practices within the department. Through the creation, control, and coordinated operation of multiple political entities, including the Mayor Brian Staff Civic Association, allegedly a major money laundering operation, Union City First Committee, and Brian P. Stack for Senate, collectively the Stack political organizations. Defendant Stack established and maintained a comprehensive political patronage system designed to promote, protect, and entrench his political power in Union City, the 33rd Legislative District, and Hudson County. FBI, I hope you are watching this. This is all relevant for you. Number 10, the Stack political organizations operate collectively as the mechanism by which political loyalty to defendant Stack is measured, tracked, and rewarded. Don't scroll. I want to read that one more time, Vinny. You understand what they're saying? Now, this is in the headline facts. I am not saying these are facts. I'm just reading what the court documents say are facts. They seem to hold a lot of weight, wouldn't you think? Wouldn't you say? Number 10. This is making an accusation, or according to this, it's a fact. They're saying the Stack political organizations operate collectively as the mechanism by which political loyalty to defendant Mayor Stack is measured, tracked, and rewarded, as well as retaliated, by the way, which you're going to get into. We'll keep going, Vinny. These entities function in concert, share political objectives, and are commonly understood within municipal government and the Union City Police Department to be vehicles through which defendant Stack evaluates political support. You know how illegal that is? These people are supposed to be independent of Stack. They're supposed to be servants of the people, municipal workers. Yet he is gauging their promotions, their jobs, their job titles, their demotions, their retaliations, and their firings based upon a tracking system, based upon how much money they give to him. Do they buy his campaign fundraising tickets and different fundraising tickets? And do they go out and knock on doors and hand out flyers on their own personal time? Or sometimes on city time, which is completely illegal. Let's continue. This is in the section that says facts. I don't see anything that says allegations here. So why is he not arrested yet and in prison? Soon, Grasshopper, soon. Number 11, contributions, fundraising ticket purchases, and volunteer participation for any of the Stack political organizations serves as the barometer by which defendant Stack and his political operatives assess political loyalty for purposes of conferring government benefits, privileges, and favorable treatment. This is mind-blowing. Why hasn't every single media outlet in Hudson County, New Jersey, the state of New Jersey, and the country done a story on this? Oh, because corrupt Mayor Brian Stack owns them in one way or another, or intimidates them. They're too afraid, or he gives them too much money as mayor, or contributions when it's campaign time, access to them. I've even been told by some of the local Hudson County press that they won't do anything negative, real that happens to be negative against him, because then he won't give them access to information. Well, then you got to go out of business. Press, because you're not the press, you're just a propaganda arm of Stack. Let's keep going here. This is mind-blowing. 12, based on financial donations and political activity in support of one or more of the Stack political organizations, defendant Stack directly and indirectly confers government benefits, including municipal employment opportunities, favorable assignments, promotions, protection from discipline, and post-retirement employment within the city of Union City. Let's see. Lieutenant Sergio Rojas, he comes to mind here. And I'll bet he's in here somewhere. And even though the police officers are not named, no one has told me who these people are. But I've been being told the same information about the criminal actions of a number of police officers here. So it's easy to know who's who, at least some of the people. I don't know everyone in here, but at least some of them I do. And Lieutenant Sergio Rojas seems to be one of them. Well, let's continue, Vinny. Number 13, within the Union City Police Department, officers who financially contribute to, volunteer for, or otherwise demonstrate loyalty to defendant Mayor Brian Stack through the Stack political organizations are rewarded with special assignments, promotions, and favorable treatment regardless of disciplinary history. Stack is known to promote extremely dirty cops. Cops who have allegedly are responsible for unaliving people and $2.5 million in settlements of taxpayer money. And he's promoted them, but doesn't promote good police officers like Juan Estrella and many, many others who I've been in contact with over the last 2 years. This is as illegal as it comes. You're seeing it here, black, white, and red. Let's continue, Benny. Number 14, conversely, police officers who decline to financially support, volunteer for, or politically affiliate with defendant Stack or any of the Stack political organizations are subjected to adverse employment actions, including but not limited to denial of promotions, less favorable assignments, heightened scrutiny, retaliatory discipline, and harassment. Number 15, I don't want to go too fast past that. I want to read that one again, actually. You understand how criminal this is. Conversely, police officers who decline to financially support, volunteer for, or politically affiliate with defendant Stack, Brian P. Stack, or any of the Stack political organizations are subjected to adverse employment actions, including but not limited to denial of promotions, like Juan Estrella, less favorable assignments, heightened scrutiny, retaliatory discipline, and harassment. And when I read to you what they've done to Juan Estrella, and that's just one, there's numerous police officers of integrity that I've spoken with. Many are retired now, and many I'm proud to call my friends. They refused to pay to play. One officer, he was given 19 different retaliatory assignments in 12 years because he wouldn't pay Stack. 19 in 12 years. They tried to get him to resign. And allegedly, they even tried to unalive him as well. Twice. Like Serpico. If you know the movie Serpico, allegedly is set up like that. But fortunately, he knew what was going on. He didn't go to where he was asked to go. Let's continue, Vinny. This is Mayor Brian Stack. This should be headline news everywhere in New Jersey and the United States. Okay, number 15. Although the Civic Association is nominally organized as a nonprofit entity, and numerous people allege to me that it is a money laundering operation, FBI, take note. And Union City First Committee and Brian P. Stack for Senate are political committees. These entities. Oh, what happened? You got to reboot the file? I can't hear you, Vinny. I think you got to.
I'm not too sure. Let me see. What
you just got to refresh it. Yeah, stop sharing and while you refresh it.
Okay.
Okay. But I'm going to read. I have it here somewhere myself. And let's see, we were on number 15.
Page 64.
Okay, here we go. So they operate in a coordinated and symbiotic manner. I won't be able to see the screen. Let me know once it's back on. I'm on a different screen now. To advance defendant Brian Stack's political control over municipal operations, including the Union City Police Department, which Brian Stack runs illegally. Not the chief of police. Corrupt Mayor and Senator Brian Stack runs the police department. Number 16. Defendant Stack utilizes his political status, his position as Director of Public Safety, and his political organizations to enforce this pay-to-play system within the Union City Police Department. Although defendant Stack has claimed that the chief of police independently manages the department's day-to-day operations, evidence reveals that defendant Stack personally interferes with police operations to advance his political agenda. Oh, you got it back there? Okay. Yeah, scroll down. I'm reading your thing now, Vinny. Scroll now. 17. For example, officers have informed plaintiff's investigator about being personally approached by command staff and told to donate to defendant Brian Stack's political organizations. This is a smoking gun, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. He needs to be arrested by FBI tomorrow. Upon information and belief, one officer was explicitly told that he had to contribute in order to be placed in the detective bureau. Did so and was placed there. Once assigned, he was told that continued contributions were required or he would be removed from the bureau. Smoking gun. And this is a direct message. If you can put me on full screen now for a minute, Vinny. Okay, this is the direct message to all of the Union City police officers who are currently working, which 99% of you are amazing. Stop giving money to Stack immediately, starting tonight. No more money. If you get retaliated against, you reach out to me immediately. All of you, stop giving money. He tries to pick you off one by one because you all stay silent. Like, oh, you're afraid you're going to lose your job. And I understand all that. I understand that. But when you come 3, 4, 5 to me at a time, even 2 at a time, it is going to be so blatant that those are retaliatory actions that Stack has done to you because you wouldn't pay to play. Stop it. Stop funding Stack's political corrupt machine. You got the power to say no. He can't retaliate against all of you. It's not like the old days. I am here now. I will report the retaliation. And you will, number one, have a major lawsuit, and we will make sure Stack goes to prison for this criminal actions. So I'm asking every single police officer, no matter what your rank, from special officer, as they call it part-time, to officer, regular officers, sergeant, lieutenants, captains, and the chief of police, the new acting chief, Walter Laurencio. You got the power. Stop this now. Stop this corruption now by immediately saying, I will not give him another penny. Your job should, and your promotions and your assignments and retaliation should have nothing to do with how much money you give Stack or if you knock on doors or if you hand out flyers. Period. Everything you do should be based on merit. If you're an excellent police officer protecting our rights and protecting the community, taking bad people off the street, then you get promotions. You get disciplined if you do something wrong, like violate my rights or violate someone else's rights. So you have the power right now. Union City Police Department, stop playing Stack's game. He will be instantly powerless. How do you stand up to a bully? Don't let him bully you anymore. He doesn't make you give him checks. This is exposed now. Everyone knows in the whole world. This is court public record. And again, I check just about every day. And when I saw, and this is, by the way, an amended complaint that has all this additional information. I saw other information before this, but this is from an amended complaint. And this just went live, I think it was December 31st. The whole world knows. Stop being part of his criminal enterprise, Stack's criminal enterprise. Stop paying to play. If you do a great job as an officer, then you need to be acknowledged as such and get promoted as such, and no retaliation, period. So contact me confidentially. Again, I know many, many of you. I've been talking with many of you, and you know I keep you confidential. Reach out to me tonight. And I would love to hear a commitment from you that you're done. And connect with your other friends and fellow officers. Connect together. In unison, say, we're done. He can't retaliate against 5 or 10 of you at a time. Thank you, Rami, for putting that up there. And confidentially call me, text me tonight. Email me. It will be 100% confidential. It takes just 2 or 3 of you initially saying no. But imagine 5, 10, 20, 100 of you. You're just like at least 200 police officers. Stop funding his political machine. You will truly be the heroes that will bring this corrupt politician, this mayor, senator, who's also the head of the Senate Judiciary Committee of New Jersey, down and into handcuffs. The question is, which one of you are going to be putting him in handcuffs? Which one of you? All right, let's continue, Vinny. And this gets crazy. Stay with me. I know it's going to only go an hour today, but I want to get through more of this. And we'll go to 10:30, another 23 minutes. This gets crazy. When you see the retaliation that's being done, insane. So once assigned, he was told that continued contributions were required or he would be removed from the Bureau. Smoking gun. These practices reflect a system in which terms and conditions of employment, including assignments and promotions, are conditional on political loyalty and financial support. Upon information and belief, defendant Stack's pay-to-play scheme is not confined to the Union City Police Department, the Union City Board of Education, or any single municipal department, but extends to private companies as well, and individuals seeking to do business with the city of Union City as well. Smoking gun. Everything, everyone who does business with Union City, pay to play, extortion, bribery. Companies and contractors that contribute to, purchase fundraising tickets for, or otherwise financially support defendant Mayor Brian Stack's political organizations are rewarded with municipal contracts, favorable treatment, and committed continued business opportunities, while those who decline to participate or who oppose defendant Stack opportunities and subjected to retaliatory enforcement. And by the way, you know, in the last 25 years, I think only 2 people have ever run against Brian Stack. He's been mayor for over 25 years. I think only 2 people ran against him. Guess what happened when they were running against him? He had them both arrested. That's what Fidel Castro does. This is the United States. He's been getting away with it because the local media and the state media have refused to continually expose him to the FBI indict him. Only 2 people, I think, ran against him, and they were both arrested while they were running against him. We, the people, are going to make sure this Mayor Senator Stack is held accountable to the full extent of the law. Let's continue, Benny. Number 19. Upon information and belief, defendant Stack targeted at least one building owner who made her political opposition to him publicly known. Oh no, Mr. Bill! Not in the United States of America. You can't own a property in a city and say you don't support the mayor and not expect to get retaliated against, right? And that would be Cuba. And who is that? Gerardase? Get them lots of love, family. God bless you for the super chat. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. You did it sometime I did, Vinny. God bless you. So this is crazy. And I know this building owner. She was targeted because she made her political opposition to him publicly known. That's called America, ladies and gentlemen, right? Representative of the Republic. And thereafter subjected her to continuous harassment, including heightened inspections and enforcement actions, after her opposition became known. This pattern of rewarding political supporters and targeting perceived opponents further demonstrates that defendant Brian Stack uses his official authority to punish dissent and reward loyalty, consistent with their broader pay-to-play political patronage system alleged herein. Smoking gun is my phrase of the day. Smoking gun. And I know that property owner. That person is a phenomenal person. And Stack has put that person through the ringer. She has been in court, I think, spending probably hundreds of thousands of dollars to defend bogus health inspection violations. Allegedly, Mayor Brian Stack has coordinated all the tenants in this particular person's building against this landlord. Organized, allegedly, against them. Has private meetings in Union City City Hall, which I attempted to go to because they shouldn't be private, they should be public. And I was locked out of those meetings. The tenants were gathered, and there was even, I saw the flyer. I saw the flyer. And he was allegedly organizing them against her to make up bogus things, because I understand he's trying to get that building. He's trying to get that building from her through fines and violations and her in constant court spending probably hundreds of thousands of dollars. What did she do wrong? Well, in reality, nothing. What did she do wrong in the pay to play? You must kiss the ring. You must kneel before the God, the emperor, the grand poobah, Mayor Senator Brian Stack. She refused to do that. But again, now it's exposed. So stop doing pay to play. He cannot retaliate against all of you anymore. Bullies only can operate in the shadows and when people let them bully you. Let's continue, Vinny. This is going to get really crazy now. 20. At the onset of plaintiff employment. Did we skip anything? We were at 19 before, I guess, right? Yeah, okay, we're good. At the onset of plaintiff employment, plaintiff was informed by the Union City Police Department that he was mandated to follow the guidelines established by the Attorney General and the Union City Police Department rules and regulations. In fact, plaintiff was informed that if he failed to follow both the Attorney General guidelines and the Union City Police Department rules and regulations, he would be subject to disciplinary actions. This is also stated in the Union City Police Department rules and guidelines. All right, let's skip back 22, 23. Officer Estrella has always received satisfactory performance evaluations. Officer Estrella is routinely involved in training newly hired police officers. 24. At all relevant times, plaintiff was employed by the defendant's City of Union City Police Department, and Brian Stack, and it says Michelle Luster cross out there, so maybe they cross her out. Officers interested in the position of sergeant in the police force of Union City must take the civil service promotional exam. Officers are then ranked on a promotional list based on their scores and seniority. It should be straightforward. Whoever ranks the highest, you get promoted next. Not in Mayor Brian Stack's world. No, no, no. Let's keep going there. On or about July 1st, 2017, the Civil Service Commission announced on their website that a promotional exam would be administered on October 28th, 2017. Okay, let's go down to number 28. In or about May of 2018, the department issued a reading list for the promotional exam. Plaintiff Officer Estrella was ranked 13 on the promotional list. Officer Estrella scored 88.570 on the exam. Officer Nunez, who ranked number 11, and let's see, was promoted to sergeant from the previous sergeant promotional list. As a result of Officer Nunez's promotion, Officer Estrella was now ranked 12 in the sergeant promotional list. Between May of 2018 and present, all 11 officers ahead of Officer Estrella in their promotional list have been promoted to sergeant. All 11 officers ahead of Officer Estrella were also light-skinned and were from the national origin of Dominican Republic. On or about August 2021, one position for sergeant became available. In or about February 22, another position became available. As of February 2022, 2 positions for sergeant became available for promotion. Officer Estrella was first in line on the promotional list for sergeant as of August 2021. Shortly thereafter, plaintiff was approached by then Lieutenant, redacted, who explicitly told plaintiff that the only way to get promoted is to donate to STAC and volunteer regularly. Redacted further explained that occasional donations or sporadic volunteering were insufficient, stating that defendant STAC must personally see officers at his events. They must kiss the ring, and that he recognizes who supports him. STAC, who do you think you are? You're like Pope Leptonius the Corrupticus? What's going on here? Kiss the ring. Lieutenant so-and-so similarly told plaintiff that promotion required regular donations, attendance at all political fundraisers. These people work for the city and we the people, not for STAC. Smoking gun. I can't even see the screen. There's so much smoke here. And ongoing volunteer participation, right, where defendant STAC would personally observe the officer's presence. STAC reminds me of Santa Claus. He sees you when you're donating. He knows when you are not. He'll retaliate against you, and if you got a job, you won't have it much longer. It's like Brian STAC is not the Santa Claus. He's the Satan Claus. Let's continue. Plaintiff declined to participate regularly in these political activities. Plaintiff is a police officer employed by Union City Police who does not regularly donate or volunteer to defendant STAC's political organizations. And over 20 years of public service in Hudson County, including over 16 in Union City Police Department, plaintiff recalls making only a single political contribution to the STAC organizations. That shouldn't be happening. If you work for the city, you can't be required to donate to the city mayor. You got to be independent. That's why police officers stop donating as of tonight. Make a pact with yourself and each other. And with me. I want you to be free. Again, I want you to be promoted on merit. You don't have to keep looking over your back. Did you not donate enough of your money to STAC? Did you not volunteer enough? Did you not knock enough doors? Wouldn't that feel good to be free of that? There's officers who've been there for 25 years since STAC's been mayor. You know how it is. Wouldn't you love to be free of that anxiety and looking over your shoulder and eggshells? Is STAC going to retaliate against you or your family? The STAC retaliates against families, allegedly, even when police officers retire, if they're still have family working there. Sick. Let's keep going. On or about August 2021, Officer Estrella texted Chief Luster, who was the chief at the time, regarding his interest in being promoted to the available sergeant position. This is critical here, ladies and gentlemen. During the conversation, Chief Luster insinuated that the promotional holdup was due to defendant Mayor Brian STAC, as if it was defendant STAC who had concerns regarding promoting him. Why? No money. Didn't show him the money. Show him the money. Got more money. You want more money. That's why. While Mayor Brian STAC was promoting police officers who allegedly unalived people because of their various actions and inactions. Various actions. Let's continue. It's going to get crazier. This is like a Jerry Springer special. It's going to get nuts. On or about September 17th, 2021, Officer Estrella, Santiago Estrella, and defendant STAC met to discuss Officer Estrella's promotion. Contrary to what Chief Luster had stated in August, defendant STAC informed Estrella that he, in fact, would be promoted to the rank of sergeant. Well, STAC, why are you even saying you have the power to do that, right? So STAC now promised he would be promoted to the rank of sergeant and that he would be promoted. Upon information and belief, defendant STAC made these promises to encourage plaintiff to once again donate and volunteer. So that was STAC's way of saying, you know what? Allegedly, his way of saying. You've been a lost sheep to my shepherd. But I'm going to give you a chance to come back into my good graces. Because the God of Stack taketh, and he can giveth backeth. If you donateth to his fundraising tickets again. Let's see what happens next. Defendant Stack stated that Chief Luster did not want to promote Officer Estrella. See how he's playing her against him? And if pressed to promote him, Defendant Luster would go public. On what? Estrella wouldn't give money to Stack? Defendant Stack further, scroll down more, Vinny. Defendant Stack further stated that he can promote Officer Estrella once Chief Luster leaves Union City. See, Stack is admitting he's in charge of promotions. Smoking gun. Defendant Stack directed Officer Estrella to speak to Chief Luster. On or about February 9, 2022, Officer Estrella was informed by Chief Luster that he would not be promoted. Instead, she would promote the following two officers ranked 13 and 14, smoking gun, on the promotional list. Both officers being promoted were not from the national origin of the Dominican Republic. Number 39. The Union City Police Department has disproportionately promoted officers with significant disciplinary records over plaintiff, where those officers routinely donated to, volunteered for, and or purchased fundraising tickets for Defendant Stack's political events. These officers were not of Dominican national origin. Although their names have been redacted to protect their identities, the redactions do not diminish the seriousness of their disciplinary histories, which we're going to get into, or the documented misconduct underlying those records. Those officers include but are not limited to the following. This is going to get good now. A, and I will make an alleged identification based upon the information I've been receiving over the last 2 years if I allegedly think I know who this is. Officer A, Caucasian officer, arrested 3 times, fighting in bars, was recommended for termination before promotion, and was promoted. You're once, twice, 3 times a bar fighter. I'm like John Felix. He loves to sing. I think he's a better singer than me, though. So he was, let's see. Yeah, he was arrested 3 times for fighting in bars, was recommended for termination, but not because Brian Stack said, no. He got promotion instead. Let's go back to that, Vinny. It's going to get even crazier, ladies and gentlemen. So he was recommended for termination before he was promoted, and he was then promoted anyway. And I don't know who that is. And I'm going to look, I have my team cross-referencing different things. We can find out who each of these officers are. This is a public record. So I will be announcing who these officers are as soon as we can corroborate with any information from any other sources and so forth that may be in Union City Police and other places as well. Number B, a Cuban officer threw away drugs that were found in a juvenile's locker in Jose Marti Union City School and received a major suspension, but he was also promoted. Of course he was. He was also received at least 1 written reprimand, has also been investigated by the Hudson County Prosecutor's Office. They investigated him. They won't investigate Edwin Martinez, an alleged predator. But despite the destruction of evidence, so he destroyed evidence. So that wasn't clear from what I first read. So he destroyed evidence, apparently to protect the juvenile, it seems. Despite the destruction of evidence, which is a major crime, not only termination of employment, but arrest and incarceration, his disciplinary history and investigation by the Hudson County Prosecutor's Office was nevertheless promoted because he's on Santa Stack's good list, not the naughty won't do pay to play list. I do not know. Let's see. I do not know who Officer B was. We'll find out who that is. Officer C was arrested for fighting and received several domestic violence complaints, was suspended and promoted. You get this, ladies and gentlemen? How is Stack still not in state or federal jail, really federal prison here? D, a Cuban officer engaged in sexual misconduct at the 27th Street precinct involving a civilian telephone operator, which resulted in a major suspension and required the city to defend and resolve civil litigation arising from that conduct. including an award or settlement of thousands of dollars. It was $100,000, actually, allegedly. I know who this is, by the way. Was also the subject of additional sustained violations, including one that I brought against him. Despite the serious disciplinary history, I'm going to name this person in a minute, then I'm going to read the whole thing all over again, is a contributor to defendant Brian Stack's political organizations and was nevertheless promoted. In addition, this cop was found to have improperly used another officer's login credentials without authorization to access the police department's computer system and alter a police report. Notwithstanding this sustained misconduct, this officer was later hired into a position with the Union City Board of Education. Now let's read this all over again, because who they are allegedly talking about is none other than retired Lieutenant Sergio de Rojas. Again, I've gotten this from no one except my own research, all the information I've received over the last 2 years. And he was promoted. And he was just hired last year. Stack ordered the Board of Education to hire him as the head of security for 11,000 Union City school children. According to this, he engaged in major sexual misconduct here. Let's read. I want to read this again. So this is allegedly retired Lieutenant Sergio de Rojas, who is now the safety coordinator, inexplicably. A woman who he allegedly forced him to give him OR.ALS is right now, he was just appointed last year, allegedly on the orders of Mayor Stack, to be the safety coordinator of all 11,000 school children in Union City schools right now. How is he not in jail, in prison? How is he hired to be the safety coordinator? So allegedly, I'm going to still say allegedly anyway, retired Lieutenant of Union City Police Department Sergio de Rojas, a Cuban officer, engaged in sexual misconduct at the 27th Street precinct involving a civilian telephone operator. And what are the allegations that the civilian telephone operator made? Well, I've been talking with her for over a year and a half now. She alleges that Lieutenant Sergio de Rojas was harassing her day after day after day when she was a police dispatcher in Union City, New Jersey, sending her text messages, going to her and her husband's house, allegedly, constantly asking the woman to give him oral ... demanding, allegedly, that Sergio de Rojas give her ... Sergio Rojas is her boss. What did she do? She begged Mayor Brian Stack and Police Chief Everett at the time to transfer her because of the alleged harassment. Continual, constant. She shouldn't have been transferred. He should have been investigated, terminated, and gone to jail. She begged for a transfer, though. What did Mayor Brian Stack allegedly say, and Chief of Police Everett? No, zero transfer for you. Sorry. They allegedly said you just got to deal with it. Allegedly. The harassment continued and continued for months, at least 2 months, maybe more. Until finally, according to the victim, Sergio de Rojas allegedly cornered her in a small satellite police trailer and forced her to give him ORS. Then there was evidence, allegedly, on the chair of his ... The victim, the police dispatcher, demanded that Mayor Stack preserve that chair so that chair could be tested for DNA evidence that would incontrovertibly show it was Lieutenant Sergio de Rojas, according to her. Was that chair preserved by Mayor Brian Stack? No. It was destroyed. How? It was thrown into the dumpster to protect Sergeant de Rojas at the time. He was sergeant then. And I have police officer witnesses who told me they personally saw that chair in the dumpster. Allegedly with Sergeant DeRojas's ... on it. They would have sent him to federal, state, or probably state prison for many, many, many years. But guess what happened? DeRojas did get suspended. And I have the entire complaint that was written to Mayor Stack and to Chief of Police at the time. It is vile. Sergeant Sergio DeRojas, he got promoted to lieutenant. For what they did to her.
Is the live still going? Can you did it freeze? Put a 1 in the chat if you can see Garden State accountability. One in the chat if you can see Garden State accountability. All right, Leroy should be back in a minute. Hopefully, we'll see what happens here. If he's not back in the next minute, then we'll end it. But what about these allegations? What do you think? What do you think about it? All the evidence, the report, everything that you see, everything that Leroy's been trying to expose for the last it's almost 3 years now. I mean, this is all the retaliation. Leroy gets all this retaliation against him for exposing all these things, and look where he's at. He's going to court for something that they don't like. So I just got a text from Leroy. He says he is going to get back on. So let's see here.
Your call has been forwarded.
All right, he's back in.
All right, I'm back. I apologize, everyone. I'm at the same internet that I've been using the last few weeks. All right, so
hold on one sec.
If you can bring that back up again. And can you believe this about Lieutenant DeRojas, now retired, who's now the head of safety for Union City children, 11,000 children, because Senator Brian Stack is the #1 promoter of best predators in the entire state of New Jersey. So this resulted in a major suspension and required the city to defend and resolve civil litigation arising from this conduct, including an award settlement, and I was told it was $100,000. This is like months ago. Was also subject of additional sustained violations despite the serious disciplinary history. Lieutenant Sergio DeRojas, retired, is a contributor to defendant Brian Stack's political organization and was nevertheless promoted to lieutenant. Wasn't fired or arrested. No criminal investigation. 0. Thanks, Hudson County Prosecutor's Office, courtesy of Mayor Brian Stack. And then, after he retired last year, Mayor Stack had the Board of Education, who he personally appoints, they're his little puppets, had them hire at a 6-figure salary retired Lieutenant Sergio DeRojas and a known predator, according to this. They don't even say alleged. They said he did it in here. I've always said alleged. So I'm just reading from the court documents. And let's finish. I'm going to finish this part here. So then Lieutenant Sergio DeRojas was found to have improperly used another officer's login credentials without authorization. That's a crime. to access the police department's computer system and alter a police report. That's a big crime. Probably falls under official misconduct. That 10 years in state prison? Notwithstanding this sustained misconduct, it was found he did it. Lieutenant Sergio Rojas, retired, was later hired into a position which is the safety coordinator, is the official title, with the Union City Board of Education. And then one more. And this one, I know who this is as well. And this is Officer E. Again, this is all because of all the research and all the sources who have come forward over the last 2 years. This is Lieutenant Glenn Gaston, who has false charges put against me, felony charges for trying to get Edwin Marina suspended and investigated and protect the children. So this is Lieutenant Glenn Gaston, Puerto Rican officer, was involved in the conduct that gave rise to a wrongful death lawsuit resulting in a $2.5 million judgment against the city. Why? Someone who was unlawfully arrested had a severe asthma attack, and he wouldn't give the inhaler to the person who was having this asthma attack. They shouldn't have been arrested in the first place. And allegedly, Lieutenant Glenn Gaston lied on the police report and said he gave the inhaler. He was a detective at the time, I believe. Not even a sergeant. I think he was a detective. $2.5 million wrongful death settlement. Third Circuit Court affirmed the $2.5 million settlement. And they said, yes, Lieutenant Glenn Gaston was one of the people responsible for this guy dying. How is he not in federal or state prison? Instead, he's got felony charges against me, trying to put me away for 5 years for trying to protect children and get Edwin Marina suspended and investigated, and ideally arrested. All right, there's a lot more, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to complete this for today. I so appreciate you all staying with me for this. Please share this video everywhere. We need to get Edwin Marinas suspended, investigated, and arrested. And remember, he's only one of many teachers in Union City schools right now that may be assaulting the little ones when they go to work tomorrow, or protected by Mayor and Senator Brian Stack, the entire Board of Education, who is Mayor Brian Stack's puppets, and the Superintendent of Schools, Sylvia Abato. And Juan Estrella, I wish him the best in his lawsuit against Stack. Looks like he's got a hell of a case and hell of a good lawyers. And how do we get justice, ladies and gentlemen? Number one, always peacefully, always through the law and the courts, and always being relentless. I've had so many threats against my life in especially the last 2 years, to try to stop me. Ain't gonna stop me. I willingly give my life for this. Ideally, that doesn't happen, but they want me off the earth. I've been told, sources have said, allegedly, Stack allegedly wants me off this earth. You know what I mean? So if anything happens to me, FBI, go after Stack, Sergio Rojas, all the other people I've been exposing. Edwin Marinas, Lieutenant Glenn Gaston, you go after them. Investigate them. So Vinny, come on back on board. Last words for today. What are your thoughts and your feelings?
All right. Can you hear me?
Oh, hold on. Before I do that, Calaz, why do you say? Oh, Lenny's trying to make it a partisan Republican issue, and yes, that's Lenny. I thought it said Leroy, because I'm clear here, everybody. This is a politically neutral channel. We're not right versus left. It's right versus wrong. Bottom line. So go ahead, Vinny.
So everything in this this report that you've put forward today is all the allegations that you've been putting forth out to for the people to hear. And you know, I believe because you put out this information is the reason you're being retaliated against. That's my opinion only.
Well, it sounds like a very accurate opinion.
Yeah. So I don't want to say anything like, you know, but I mean, everything that you've told me we've known each other a year now. Everything that you've told me over the last year is now in this report, and it's been true. So,
whoa, that's a great point, Vinny. And all the allegations I've been reporting, it is under the section, Vinny, that says facts. Again, not my words. I'm not saying these are facts. In the court document, it says facts.
Right. So, and literally, if you follow my channel, Garden State Accountability, you can see that I've been with Leroy since last November. And you can see on my channel, he's been telling me all these allegations with every single officer that is in that report before that report even came out. You know what I mean? So, I mean, this is clear retaliation. They didn't want these facts to get out there. They did. And here's where we are with Leroy. And that's where I stand with that.
Absolutely. And I also wanted to shout out the attorneys too. These attorneys are extraordinary. I'm going to go into the top here. I want to see, and what are I don't remember the attorneys' names. You want to go to the top. There's so many pages in here. It's insane. Okay, where are the attorneys named here? Let's see. Because huge shout out to them. They are fearless. They are professional. They are relentless. They know the law. And where are the attorneys on record here?
What page is that?
There's two attorneys on record.
What page?
I don't know. I haven't found it yet. And I thought it was just in the first few pages. I know it's in here. I'm going to find it. Up again. I'm getting close. And accepted, redacted, demanding officer. Okay. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Okay. So one is Yasmin Estrella. Yasmin Estrella, you need an attorney, ladies and gentlemen. She's going up against the whole corrupt Bryant Stack, New Jersey political machine. And the other gentleman is Ernest. I don't see his name here. Where's Ernest? His name is Ernest. And it's Ernest and Yasmin. Oh, here we go. Here comes plaintiff Juan Estrella by his attorney. Are Yasmin Estrella and Tomas Espinoza, according to this. Okay. Thomas Espinoza. God bless them. Huge shout out. If you need their names, their numbers, contact me. And they specialize in civil. Any alleged victims of Edwin Marinez, contact me. I will put you in contact with them immediately. Any police officers, I'll put you in contact with them immediately. And again, I encourage any other alleged victims of Edwin Marinez or any other teacher in Union City or a janitor, come to me. And oh, this is important too, Vinny. Another cover-up of an assault that took place just maybe a month and a half, 2 months ago, inside police dispatch headquarters in Union City. A man was called.
Where we go in to file our reports when we go into that little office in there?
No. I think it was upstairs. There's a police dispatch area that's we don't have access to. But there was a man caught, we'll say, being very familiar with himself, a police dispatcher, in front of to a female police dispatcher. It was a male dispatcher being very familiar with himself, allegedly publicly, with a female police dispatcher.
That's
then he allegedly went into the women's room.
Up in Union City, man. I'm telling you, you really can't.
It's crazy. Then he went into the women's room, allegedly, where another female police dispatcher saw him, this man, police dispatcher, being very familiar to himself. The female police dispatchers complained. Police, whoever was in charge there, reviewed the video. They said, yes, according to sources, they said, yep, they were telling the truth. This male police dispatcher was immediately removed. Was he investigated? Was he charged? No. I was told he was transferred to Union City Schools.
Yep.
Vinny, allegedly, that guy who was getting familiar with himself publicly is working with children right now. Allegedly, Mayor Bryant Stack had him moved to Union City Schools just a few weeks ago.
Whenever there's any conduct in the police department, it sounds like they always take them from the police department and throw them in the schools.
Yeah, with children.
The Rojas, same thing. I mean, it's like a pattern here.
And there's others as well.
Oh, yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, myself, Vinny, the exposure report with David Snow, watching here, Scalzo photo. We are committed, and Michael Torres, we are committed to protecting the children of Union City. Edwin Marinez must be investigated and arrested immediately. Mayor and Senator Brian Stack must be investigated and arrested immediately. The entire Union City Board of Education must be investigated and arrested immediately. And Superintendent Sylvia Abado of Union City Schools must be investigated and arrested immediately. Sergio de Rojas must be investigated and arrested immediately. Why was he never criminally charged for this? There's no statute of limitations on that. He could be arrested tomorrow, Hudson County prosecutor. We will see you peacefully, always peacefully, myself and Michael Torres, alleged victim of Edwin Marinez, in your offices tomorrow. As we have an appointment. We actually have an appointment, Vinny. We have an appointment. So that says something. It's not a big thing, but it's a little thing. We have an appointment tomorrow to meet with the captain of the Special Victims Unit, which is where the SE crimes are. And so with that, I want to do a shout out. I appreciate the super chats. We got Black North X. And thank you so much. And new member also, Sui Observer. And also super chat, get them lots of love, family. And your support, just liking this video, sharing this video is huge. We got to get the word out because mainstream media has refused to do a story on this. They refused. As soon as they hear Brian Stack, not only have I called mainstream media, others have called mainstream media. And as soon as they hear the name Brian Stack, click, they hang up the phone. We're talking NBC, CBS, ABC, Channel 11, all New York City outlets. When they hear Mayor Brian Stack from other people, not just me, they're like, wow, that's terrible. There's a teacher still teaching there? Oh my God, why isn't he being arrested yet? And then they say, who's covering up? Mayor Senator Stack. Click. Is that insane, ladies and gentlemen? We ain't stopping. So if you could share this video, like this video, share this everywhere. And also I appreciate Aria, AB Designs. If you need any video editing, he's your man. He's done so much. He's my editor now. He's world-class. He's done some work for Sean, Long Island Audit, for LTL Media as well. And he's just excellent. And I think he's probably pretty sick. He was telling me he wasn't feeling well today.
Yeah, I spoke to him today. He was definitely really sick.
Yeah, all right. That's why he's not with us. Also, please subscribe to his YouTube channel. He's just starting his channel. He just has a few followers, a few subscribers.
We're trying to shoot him for 200 right now.
Oh, he's at 200. Good. He's growing.
Oh, we're trying to shoot for 200.
Oh, you're shooting for 200. So please get him there. AV Designs. It's AV Designs. If anyone could put it, any mods put it in the chat here. Also, please subscribe to Vinny at Garden State Accountability, Scalzo Photo, and the Exposure Report with David Snow. Because in our team, we have truth, accountability, exposure together. And that's how we keep America free again. So I so appreciate each and every one of you. Appreciate your support. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Help me to get to 60,000. I'm only like 250 something away from 60,000. On the way to 100,000 this year. I want to get to 100,000 so we can have even more reach with all of these extremely important stories that the mainstream media, the local Hudson County media, the New Jersey media refuses to cover. And I talk with numerous Hudson County local media and state media. I said, here, I will give you information, and then you do your own investigation. And they said, wow, thank you. Then when they hear the name Brian Stack, click. FBI, do the world a favor. Not only investigate, but indict and arrest Stack. We need to make Union City free again, and we need to protect children, because right now there are children being assaulted tomorrow and beyond. Every day that goes by without Ed Marina's being indicted and arrested and the others there, children are in danger. So thank you for your support. God bless you all. Thank you, Vinny, for producing. Stay tuned for much more. I've got lots of great videos coming on. I'm going to be featuring a lot of good guy activism videos in my commentary. He's one of the best auditors on the planet. Got over 120,000 subscribers, but some of his videos are just not in the algorithm. They're only getting like 3,000 to 4,000 views. I'm going to be highlighting them. Also, I am now doing some cooperation with Attorney Shield. And I'm going to be doing commentary on the Attorney Shield videos. And I encourage everyone to get attorney shield. I've got it myself now. So if I ever get stopped on the road, you don't use it for audits. Never use attorney shield for audits. You're on your own for that. You stop, I'm going to use attorney shield. And I highly recommend you get it. And it costs, like, I don't know, $14.99 a month. You get a lawyer on call. You get stopped for anything. And the key is you stop talking, let the lawyer do the talking, keep the video camera pointed at the cops. A lot of people, they point it at them. Like, no, keep it at the police. And it can help either save you a ticket, save you from getting arrested possibly, or save things from escalating. So I'll be doing commentary on the actual videos that come through on Attorney Shield. I just talked with the CEO last week. Phenomenal guy. And also talked with the head of social media. And they've been following my work for a while. So God bless you. This has been it's a sad occasion to report on these crimes, because nowhere else in the United States of America would Edmund Marina still be in school, going to school every day. He would have been suspended. And remember, everyone is innocent until proven guilty. I only report allegations. I don't make them. I don't declare guilt or innocence. That's not the role of a journalist. It is my responsibility to report credible allegations. Then it's up to the court, the police, Hudson County prosecutor, and the courts to then decide his innocence or guilt. But in the meantime, you can't work with children. Because remember, I got 11 other names of Union City school teachers who allegedly have been engaged in S assaulting students. So stay tuned for much more. God bless you all. And stay tuned. I'm going to have a brand new video coming up tomorrow, going live probably around 12 o'clock. See you very soon. God bless you.